Hello, and welcome to This Week in James City County. I'm your host, Renee Dahlman. Today, I am joined for the first time by James City County's, I have to look at your title so I don't mess it up, Volunteer and Resource Coordinator, Angie Sims. Welcome, Angie.
Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Well, and Angie, you and I have known each other for roughly ever.
Ever.
Ever. So I'm so glad that we have finally got you here.
Yes,
It is National Volunteer Month.
yes,
And
ma'am. The
since
best month ever.
the best month ever. And since you are the volunteer coordinator, figured this would be a great opportunity for us to learn more about the county's volunteer program.
It is. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come on and talk about the program and to brag a
Absolutely.
little bit about our volunteers.
Very
I'm
good.
happy
Well,
to talk about it.
yep, take it away.
So the county has a wonderful volunteer program. We have a fantastic foundation that was built um, by the ladies that came before me. Carolyn Rhodes, Carol Shank, Vicki Sprague, and Latara all built a wonderful foundation for us to build on. Um, COVID did make a little bit of an impact, and so I get the privilege now of rebuilding the volunteer program back to what it was prior to COVID. Last year we had a little over 800 volunteers countywide help us, which I think is still a fantastic amount of volunteers coming on board, with giving COVID.
Absolutely.
We had a lot go virtual. We had, several do virtual things, several that were outside in our parks and outside doing like cleanup opportunities with Cassie Cordova. So there was lots of opportunities. But this month, being National Volunteer Month, we get the honor of recognizing and appreciating these volunteers. I get the honor of working with them and working with folks that want to be here. They want to do what it is that you've invited them to do or given them the opportunity to do, and I get the privilege of seeing that passion and being a part of that energy. It's something special, and they definitely need recognition for that and a huge thank you for that.
Absolutely. I cannot believe 800 volunteers.
We had a little over 800 volunteers
Goodness.
help throughout the year, and that includes our CERT members and our VIPS members, all of the folks that help with Cassie's environmental cleanup sustainability programs, and of course the events that we were able to have. Parks and Recreation came on board. Our Jamestown Jams we had volunteers at, and so at the library's volunteers continued throughout COVID. They were not impacted as much as a lot of the other volunteers were. They stayed high on the volunteers. But yeah, a little over 800 volunteers.
So tell us, what opportunities are there in the county?
Opportunities for volunteers range from our special events. So Parks and Recreation offers special events that they can volunteer with, hopefully coming back monthly.
Yes.
So those are usually on the weekends. So helping out, with arts and crafts, with the games section of the event. So helping in any of the special events. There's opportunities to help with the environmental cleanups, the sustainability department with Cassie Cordova. She is great on making sure that we have lots of opportunities for folks to get out and keep James City County beautiful. You can work at the libraries. You can come in and volunteer within our parks if you wanted to come in and help do like shoreline cleanups or trail cleanups. There's adopt a spot opportunities, adopt a park opportunities where you as an individual, your family, or even your business or your organization can come in and adopt a certain area. Sure. And then you help us maintain that. You're like another set of eyes for that area. You help keep it litter free, debris free. And then you get your name on a sign, and we do fixture opportunities for that as well.
Okay.
And then there's always opportunities to intern.
Okay.
So we love our interns.
All right. And do you have to be a high schooler to intern?
You would need to be yes, you would need to be for interns. You would need to be 16, at least 16 years old to intern.
Okay.
You need to be at least 13 years old to volunteer with us.
Okay, that's good to know.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm. So our 13-year-olds are like with our Teens Towards Success program and our Youth Advisory Council. A lot of those are our where our teen volunteers go, our younger volunteers go. Sometimes I'll have our National Honor Society, our middle schoolers.
Mhm.
They'll come in and get some hours in as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's a lot of programs that kids need volunteer
Yes,
hours in the community, and this is a great opportunity
it's
to
a
get those
great
hours.
opportunity. Our key clubbers are amazing young individuals. They talk about bringing energy into an event or things that they help with. And it's really great to get to watch. I've been in this position long enough to watch, like when they come in as a freshman and then
Mhm.
they're leaving me as a senior and they're like, Miss Angie, this is my last event with you.
Aw.
It's really cool to watch that progression.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that the little kids look at those older teenagers and they're just like the best things ever. That's really neat. That's really neat. So, what can someone do if they're interested in volunteering with the county? What's their first step?
Sure. If you'd like to volunteer, you can. There's three things you can do. You can visit us online. So go to the James City County webpage
Mhm.
and go under the How To, and there's a volunteer opportunities link that you can click on.
Okay.
And under that link are listed several opportunities and where you'd like to volunteer. The volunteer application is there that
Okay.
they would need to fill out, which comes to me. I review it. I'll call you. We'll have a chat. We'll have kind of a interview, if you will,
Mhm.
and then we'll see if I have placement for you for
Okay.
that certain individual. You're more than welcome to email me. You can call me. I'd love to chat with you over the phone if that's something that's is better or easier for you to do.
Mhm.
And then I'm more than welcome to meet with you in person as well.
Okay. Well, and I'm going to put all of that information on a screen at the end
Okay.
and in our show notes as well. So folks will
Okay.
have all of
Okay.
that and the link to go directly
Mm,
to the
yes.
page. So
Yes.
that is
It's great.
exciting.
That
So
is.
go ahead.
Oh no, it's great.
Okay. So is there anything else that you want to talk about with it being
Um,
National Volunteer Month?
I guess if I can I just kind of give a big thank you out
Oh my gosh. Yes.
to our volunteers? So
Yes.
from our Teens Towards Success and Youth Advisory Council, to our key clubbers and our National Honor Society, young teens, to our college and university students. We have always had a great uh, partnership, if you will, with William and Mary, from the football team to the women's soccer league to our sororities and our fraternities to just the individuals that want to come out and help from the colleges. Um, our adult community organizations like Kiwanis and the Ruritans, they've always been a huge help when it came to our special events or even the cleanup projects that Cassie works on. Our Adopt a Park folks, we have Adopt a Park, people who have adopted almost every park for Parks and Recreation. We have
Wow.
an Adopt a Park organization within that park. There's just a handful, maybe three, if I'm remembering correctly, that can still be adopted. Um, we have to our individuals that volunteer with us in the lounge. Um, I talked about our CERT and our VIPs. And we have our volunteer firefighters that are out there every day doing what they love because
Mhm.
they wouldn't do it if they didn't. um, to Cassie Cordova's group. A special shout out to Peg Borman. She
Mhm.
is our longest standing volunteer. Um, Close to my heart, and she's an amazing person with energy and passion for what she does for James City County. Let's see what our affiliates and our pledge leaders,
Yes.
they get nominated by the principal of their school, and it's up to them. They volunteer to be,
Nice.
to come and lead the pledge for us. So that's a very great honor, I think, a leadership opportunity for those teenagers and those
Absolutely.
young guys. And to our Boy Scouts and our Girl Scouts,
Mhm.
they play a big part. Nancy King's Troop 20, the all-girl Boy Scout troop,
Mhm.
have given towards so much of our so many events. So yeah, just a big thank you, huge thank you, just overall to our county volunteers.
Absolutely. And we are so fortunate in this community to have so many great organizations
Yes,
like you just listed, and that
yes.
they devote their time and
They
energy to make this such a great place.
such a great place, such a great place. And I mentioned to the interns, our interns come in and they're not paid. They come in and they give their time. Like we've had wonderful interns in the planning division, the social services department, CCC has them, and we have in our therapeutic recreation department, we have two interns right now who are just a bubble of energy, and they're
Mhm.
doing so much for the program.
Oh, that's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. Well, thank you so much for talking about this great program
Thank
that we
well,
have.
thank you for the opportunity to come on and to say thank you to our volunteers and to get that word out and to encourage the community to come in and do their part, give their gift back to the community.
Absolutely. Now, before I let you go, I used to, back in the early days of the podcast, ask like a fun question at the end of the
Okay,
podcast. And we kind of took a break from that because of COVID and everything
right,
changed.
right.
So, but I think it's time to bring it back. And I'm going to start with what I think. Well, there's only going to be one. So that's
Okay,
good. I got up to like three questions. So, that's going to be easier. And it's
okay.
the one I think it may have started it all. And that involves pizza.
Pizza.
So,
Okay.
where are you on pineapple on a pizza? Does pineapple belong on a pizza or no way?
No way.
No
No
way.
way. No way. Well, I'm allergic to pineapple, so it absolutely
Oh,
doesn't
sure.
go on my pizza. But
Sure.
my husband would strictly disagree that pineapple and ham should definitely go on a pizza. So, in our household, we usually order two pizzas anyway.
Okay. Well, then that works. That works.
So
Well,
for me, no, it does not.
okay. And is there any topping that you have to have on your pizza?
Pepperoni, definitely.
Pepperoni. Okay.
I love pepperoni.
Very good. Well, Angie, once again, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Renee. I appreciate it. This was fun.
Great. Good. We'll have you back for sure.
Okay,
For
thank you.
sure. Well, that wraps up this episode of This Week in James City County. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please take a moment to go online and subscribe. That way, you will be sure to never miss an episode of the podcast. You can also fill out a form on our website. I guess I should say that, jamescitycountyva.gov/podcast. And there's also a form there that you can complete, give us show ideas, comments, critiques. We would love to hear from you. So once again, thank you so much. And remember to volunteer, and we'll talk to you next week.